orientation session on growth hacking. This session is designed primarily to give you an insight into what growth hacking is, and also some details about our growth hacking program that we run at Digital Vidya. I believe you would have received an email with the PDF with the details of the program, but during this next 60 minutes, we will go over the details and also share some examples with you. So let me quickly share the agenda for the next 60 minutes. So we'll start with quick introductions and then move to one growth hack that is almost legendary, and also share the definition of growth hack with you, definition that people have come up with, and I'll also like to share how I view growth hacking. Then we will move to the growth hacking framework, where we will share some growth hacking tricks that you could try. Now, these tricks are growth hacks that people have tried in the past and it has worked for them. So it may or may not work for you, but growth hacking is all about experimentation. So this would be a good starting point for you. The last section would be details of our growth hacking coaching program, and we'll share a growth hacking readiness assessment framework which you could fill up, share with us, and we'll give you, we can kind of take it off from there, and we'll follow it up with question and answers. So we have restricted this presentation to 30 minutes and kept almost 30 minutes for question and answers about the program, about growth hacking, about what you want to do through growth, etc. So I think people are still joining, but we will now move ahead with the presentation. So people who've joined late, feel free to ask any questions if you cannot see my deck, or if you cannot hear me too late. Okay, couple of housekeeping items before we get started. So we've kept the microphones on mute because we are expecting about 50 to 70 people joining this webcast, and with 70 microphones on, it at times become difficult to manage. Number two, we've tried to make this 60 minutes interactive with a few polls and a lot of questions. So I would appreciate if you could answer those polls and ask questions. You could ask questions in the question box in the control panel, and we'll try to answer them as they come. However, it would be good if we can push all the questions to the end of the session and then take them one after the other. Okay, so my introduction. Bhaskar Thakur, I am an entrepreneur and a growth hacker. I've been part of the founding team of 3 startups, and after 2010, I've been working with numerous other startups in various capacities, like growth hacker, advisor, mentor. And I live by growth. So my major contribution to my startups and the startups that I've been part of in any form has been marketing and growth. Okay, so now let's start with growth hacking. So do you guys recognize this company? Feel free to type the answer in the answer box. Okay, before that, okay, so just to get a context, let me do a poll and get the demographic in this session. So I'm going to launch a poll, and I would appreciate if you could answer that. I'll wait for a few seconds more. Okay, so I see that about 80% people have voted, and 58% are sales and marketing professionals, and 21% are entrepreneurs. Great. That gives me a fair idea of the audience. Okay, so coming back to the question, any idea what is this company? I see Utkarsh just said that he knows. So if you could type the name of the company. Okay, so this is Hotmail. In 1996, when Sabir Bhatia and his co-founder Jack Smith wanted to start a company, they wanted to start a company called JavaSoft. And this is a bit. And then they did not want their boss to read their emails, so they designed a web-based email system, and that's how Hotmail was born. But the initial marketing technique was very traditional, which meant that they were buying radio ads and hoardings. This until one of their investors, Timothy Draper, suggested that they should append PS I love you, get your free email at Hotmail to every email going out. Now they debated, they dropped PS I love you part, but they retained get your free email at Hotmail. Now with this one small change, they started getting 3,000 users a day and reached 1 million users in 6 months and added another million in the next 2 months. By the time they sold to Microsoft, they had 12 million users, and this was in 18 months. Now, 12 million is phenomenal even by today's standard to get 12 million users in 18 months. But if you consider the total internet population at that time, it is mind-boggling. Any idea what was the total internet population in 98, 99? You could type the answer if you know. It was only 70 million. So that was a huge win. Let's move forward 12 years. Sean Ellis coined this term growth. He had written, find growth hackers for your startup. Now, in this blog, he goes to argue growth hacker is a person whose true north is growth. Now, that means growth hacker is a person who thinks only growth. In an organization, people have different roles. The CEO may be thinking about top line, bottom line, new revenue models. The product manager may be thinking about product, but growth hacker is a person who thinks about customer growth, and that's it. Growth hacking is not only for startups. Users expect startup-like agility from larger organizations these days. Business models are changing, so growth hacking is becoming more important. And there is competition from all quarters, so larger organizations also have to hack growth. If you have heard of this company called Workday, they are an enterprise software solutions company and the competitor to the likes of Oracle and Salesforce. So this company was set up in 2005, and now they are a pretty big organization. They have almost $500 million in revenue, 3,000 people, etc. However, this organization uses growth hacking very effectively. And one trick that has worked for them is staying with their early customers, making them their brand champions, and working with them to grow their organization. They have gone to the extent that some of their early customers have joined them as their product champions. So that being said, let us put growth hacking in perspective. So from where I look at growth hacking is getting more customers faster by burning less cash. Now, this cash could be investors' money if it is a startup, or it could be the enterprise's funds if it's a large organization. So how do growth hackers do this? Growth hackers primarily work on customer life cycle. They try to map customer life cycle, and try to push customers from one stage to the next. They use tools, they use analytics as various stages to make this happen. Talking about customer life cycle, this is the typical customer life cycle that I have come across. People come to know about your product through some channel. It may be email, search, radio ads, television ads, or through word of mouth. Then they go to your site and try the product. If they like what they see the first time, they probably come back next day or a few days after. You may have to push them to come back. And finally, if they like it a few times, they would pay you, or you figure out a way to monetize your traffic. It could be ads, it could be business development, it could be cross-selling. And if they are very happy, they would refer you to their friends. So you add more people to the top of the funnel coming into your product. Now, for some products, the sequence may be different. It may be you want people to refer first and then monetize them. So that part is flexible to a certain extent. So growth hackers understand customer life cycle and then use analytics tools to map them to various stages. Now, growth hacking framework is pretty much universal across the world. However, there are few tweaks. Our growth hacking framework is based on lean marketing, and we have kind of mashed it up with analytics and growth hacking techniques. We call it the A2R2 framework because it is attract, activate, retain, and reap. Now, I'll briefly go over these 4 stages in a customer's life with product, and then we'll jump to some examples. So your first job is to get audience for your product or service, get traffic to your site. So most marketers would kind of grow by getting leads. But if you follow growth hacking techniques, you would try to get qualified leads instead of just leads. So, so typically, when a marketer says, "I will increase site visit by say 100% in 2 months," a growth hacker would go, "Okay, I'll increase site visit by 100%, but I will use certain tools, certain analytics to also increase leads by 120%, which means by getting fewer traffic, you are getting more qualified leads." So once you attract audience to your site, the next job at hand is to activate them. Activation primarily is getting their email or some kind of coordinate, so that you know that, hey, this guy came to my site and now they have used the product at least once, they have seen what we are about, they have seen our demo, and they are ready to share their email address. So you activate your users. After activations, you have to make sure that your user comes back to your product, and you have to use various techniques to make sure that the user comes back, and you deliver the core product value. Core product value is the meat of the product, what that product is supposed to do. One or a few problems of customer that your product solves. So you have to get your customer back to your site and make sure that the core product value is delivered. And finally, if the customer likes the product a few times, they would sign up and also refer you to their friends. Okay, so in the next section, I'll share a few tricks that you could try, and also there are some examples of the hacks that have been done. Now, again, growth hacking is unique to every product, so these are examples just to get your creative juices flowing, and you would have to probably design your hacks around these by getting inspiration from these hacks. So the first set of examples that I will share is attraction hacks. Now, attraction hacks help you get qualified leads from the universe, from the customer, all the customers that are on the internet or elsewhere. So how many of you have optimized your site if you use internet to market your product or service? You could say yes on the question answer, and that should be good, or no. I did not get any response. So have you guys optimized your website for search engines?
Yeah, Bhaskar, I think we're getting a lot of responses. If you just come down in the question section, there's a lot of responses.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. There I see. Yeah. Don't have a site? No. Yes. No. Okay. Okay. So great. So mostly people optimize their site these days if they have a website. However, if hack over here is to leverage every asset that you have and to automate SEO. Organic search engine optimization is pretty labor intensive. You have to put in a lot of effort. You have to put in a team. You have to have a content team. You have to have optimizers doing content. What if you could figure out a way that your site is automatically optimized whenever new content is added or whenever new video is added? So growth hacking revolves around, as far as organic search goes, growth hacking revolves around automating SEO, and it starts right at the wireframe level. When you define your project, when you define your website, you start over there and kind of make sure that it is search engine friendly and ready. The next tool people use to get content to get traffic, content. You create content for Facebook, you can create content for YouTube, you create blogs, you put content on SlideShare, and that again is very effort intensive. So the hack is to kind of create content sharing across these channels. So if you create a blog, figure out a way how you could push it on Twitter, or figure out a way how you could put it on SlideShare. So again, another question, have you guys used ifttt.com? Okay, so if essentially is if this then that. You can use if to kind of use to use across the channel. So if you get a tweet, you could probably create a blog from that, essentially automate content creation, and that would help you attract more audience. Next hack, if you are launching a site or if you want to get traffic to your site, is good press. Now, if you get featured on a site like Mashable, Next Big What, the Next Web, you'll get tons of traffic, but it's not easy to get featured on this site. So the hack is, how do you reach out to the right category editors and make sure that your that they like to feature you. So one trick would be, don't send it to the editors. Try to find the category editor. Try to find someone who's written about your competition, and then probably pitch to them. Create a story that they cannot not feature on their site. So about 4 weeks back, I saw this site, Spring Sled. So they kind of put up a teaser page, and they say that they are the world's easiest project management tool. So have you guys seen this site, Spring Sled? So this was probably launched it's been about 4 weeks. Okay, so what you could do is, before you launch your product, you could try and get some traffic and some interest for it. So SpringSled did that. So they launched a teaser page coming soon, and they are taking your email ID. So whenever they launch, they will send you login. But they took it a step ahead. What they did was, after you give your email ID to them, they said, okay, we have 145,000 blah 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 users waiting for this product. If you want to get it earlier, why don't you share with your friends? And if you share with your friends, you would kind of get early access. So what they did was, even before they launched the product, with this simple sharing, they managed to get more traffic. Now that is my point. Like, at times you have to introduce sharing before before people pay you. So and this was phenomenal. So they probably got, in 2 weeks they got about 200,000 signups, and this was before the product was launched. Now let's move to some activation hacks. Now activation hacks is, in simple words, activation hack would be hacks that force people, or kind of that compel people to share their email IDs with you, or their phone numbers with you, or their contact details, depending on what your product is. So if you did not know what Twitter is, and you went to the site, what does Twitter do to make sure that if you land on the site, you give them your email ID? How should Twitter manage that? So these hacks are called activation hack. So one hack that I've seen working for activation best is having minimal homepage. So when you're designing your homepage, you will have the option of having a long form sales letter-like written homepage, which goes on, and there's huge scroll. So it typically starts with, hey, hello friend, welcome to my site, and blah blah blah. And then they say, if you are interested, sign up here. Then they will talk about some product features, and then again they will say, sign up here. Those pages work well. However, research says minimal homepage works better. These days, people are also trying video pages. So there's nothing, especially Dropbox homepage. There's a big video, and then you have a form to capture the email. So keeping homepage minimal at times helps getting activation. The next hack that works is building the homepage for new user experience. So you have two sets of users, new users and registered users. Now chances are, if you are getting traffic, you will get more new users than the signed up users if your product is new. So you should try to design your homepage for new users, which means let the users know what that page is about, how is the flow, what to expect, set the expectation right. Another hack that works is retargeting. Say people on their site today, they kind of see what your site is about, but they're not decided. They don't know if they want to share their email ID with you. So they go to some other site. Retargeting works. If you now imagine if they go to same spots over there, so that's retargeting. But the hack over there is kind of creating dynamic retargeting, so that you show contextual ads depending on where they entered and exited your site, and also probably creating custom audience and running retargeting on Facebook. So if you manage to collect email IDs, it's much cheaper to kind of create a custom audience and run ads on Facebook than just targeting a demographic. Let's now look at a few. Okay, so and another hack that always works is call action. Here is green buttons work better. I don't know where that comes from or why, but research shows green buttons work better. I also realized that it may not be always possible to put a green button, so you'll have to try out a few colors, do some A/B tests, and figure out what is the best color for you as far as conversion goes. Now let's look at some retention hacks. Now retention hacks are hacks that you should try to make time after time. So if they come to your site today, see what you are about. Maybe they sign up, maybe they don't sign up. If they don't sign up, try activation hacks, and if they sign up, then you have to get them back to your site. And delivering core product value, the first step to deliver core product value is take the users to the aha moment. Now, aha moment is that moment where your user understands what your product is about. So did you guys come across this term aha moment earlier as far as products go or marketing goes? You could type your answer in the answer box. Great. So Yogesh, Varun, Sandeep, yes, they know what aha moment is. So yeah, aha moment is essentially when you figure out, okay, this is the product. So say again, let's take an example which is brain dead, like Facebook. Say you came to Facebook for the first time and you see this page which says connect with your friends. You sign up. So we are so used to Facebook that we imagine that there will always be some newsfeed coming in. But if you don't have any friends, if you have no one, it will be a blank page. So for a Facebook user to have a meaningful interaction with Facebook, they should have at least 7 friends in 10 days. That was the aha moment discovered. Similarly, Twitter discovered that if a person follows 30 other people, they would kind of understand what Twitter is all about, because then they would start getting news and tweets that would interest them. And similarly, Dropbox figured out that if people have to understand what Dropbox is, they have to at least create a folder and put a file in that. So retention hacks work around getting people to the aha moment and delivering this aha moment time and after. So let's look at a few ways to do that. First is you have to create a very clear product discovery path. What that means is you should create use cases and personas and figure out how people will interact with your product, how people will interact with your website. Now, Dropbox, for example, did that very brilliantly. So when you signed up, you got some storage free. Then Dropbox prompted you to add, you will get some more storage. Then they said, okay, why don't you add another, you add a few photos to the photo folder, you get another few, some more storage, and so forth. Then it kind of prompted you to connect your Facebook account. So essentially, by incentivizing the user, Dropbox forced them to discover the product, discover what the core value is, discover how they could share their documents much easily with their friends. A crucial part of product discovery is lead curation. Now, lead curation is how do you manage to push your users to the desired goal of say them paying or sharing with your friends. So essentially, I have just taken a few trigger points over here. Typically, a lead curation program would have hundreds of trigger points, depending on how you segment your users and how you kind of push them towards signing up, or how you push them towards paying and becoming a paid user or a premium member. So say, for example, someone comes to your homepage, then and then drops off. What do? Do you let the traffic go? Or do you go and get more visitors to your site? No. So what your job at that stage is to somehow nudge those users to come back and sign up. So, and this could be done, say, by creating custom audience if you have their email IDs, or it could be done by retargeting, and then there are other tools and tricks to do that. Now, if a user is on the home page and they have come back probably the second time, you want to push them to sign up to use the product. If they sign up, then you want to kind of make them come back. If they put products in the shopping cart and then abandon them, then probably you have to send out reminders, hey, this product is there, the price will increase soon, or the price has dropped, and send them discount. And if a user has used you significant number of times, then you have to figure out a way to make them your evangelist. Now, this job of making evangelists is pretty tough because early adopters are brutal. They'll kind of kill you for every small mistake you do. So they'll tweet that your product sucks. Of course, it will suck because it's not ready yet, and they will kind of want their money back. So you have to figure out, the hack is to figure out ways to learn from them and to convert them into your brand champions. It's very important that you learn from your early adopters and retain them. Okay, so now let's look at few monetization and virality apps. As far as monetization goes, the most important page on your website or the most important tactic in your entire marketing plan is your pricing plan. Now, and it's, people think that they are making decision, but the truth is it's the marketer and it's the product manager and it's the growth hacker who helps them decide and at times decides for them. You kind of put the product value in such a way that users end up buying the product that you want to sell. Here in this example, you see there is a free plan. There is a hacker plan, which is for $2.99 a month, and a geek plan for $3.99 a month. Now, the hack over here is if you want to sell, so if you sell geek plan, a bit of background, if for this particular organization, if they sell geek plan, there is a huge cost of servicing that because it comes with a lot of customer support, etc., which of course it was a new product. These guys were not ready with that. So they wanted to sell the hacker plan more than the geek plan because the only difference was support. So what they did was, the trick was to make geek plan look not that great and make hacker plan look like, oh wow, I have to go for hacker plan because in hobbyist I'm not getting much and in geek there is not much value add. So by pricing strategy and by putting pricing plan in a way that they did, they were able to drive almost 70% of their new users to the hacker plan. As far as virality goes, apart from product virality, product has to be viral in itself, but you have to incentivize sharing. Now, again, Dropbox did a fantastic job in incentivizing sharing. There was an incentive to share, and then there was an incentive to kind of create an account. So I got free storage, and my friend receiving invite got free storage. You also have to make sharing very simple. This is email from Uber I received earlier this week, and it made sharing so simple. I just had to, this is from email. From my email, I could post to Facebook or tweet it or just forward that email to my friends. So you have to make it very simple and frictionless. Don't restrict users to share on only few platforms. Give them all the proper social channels to share your product or their comments about your product. So yeah, so these were a few growth hacking tips or tricks that have worked for few people. Now again, I would like to reiterate that these aren't the only hacks. These are just ideas. Some tricks that people have tried in the past and it has worked for them. So these are just suggestions for you. Now, in the next section, we'll talk about our growth hacking coaching program. and the details of the program. It's not like this webinar where only I am speaking. It's kind of two-way communication. You can also interact with your peers and discuss your growth hacks, learn from them, share your learning. And it is structured in 4 stages. The first stage is growth hacking basics and program baselining. Here in this stage, you will learn the basics of growth hacking. You've seen how organizations have done this. So you will learn how you could implement it for your own product or for your own organization. And with a growth hacker, you will also do baselining, which is kind of identifying where you are at and what you could achieve in 3 months. At this stage, we will also do an assessment of your digital marketing skills. And if needed, we will direct you to pre-skilling at Digital Vidya. So Digital Vidya has this digital marketing programs. So if you need some pre-skilling in email marketing, we could direct you to that. And this stage takes up to 8 weeks. So it could be 0 days and up to 8 weeks, and where you reskill. And if you already have those skills, or if you have already done those programs with Digital Vidya, you can just jump to stage 3, which is where growth hacking starts. Now here you will work with a growth hacker, and you will set your goals, and it will be pretty intensive 8 weeks. Every week there will be a webinar, and there will be a one-on-one time with growth hacker. You will set weekly sprints, achieve them, and move forward. I believe this will involve a lot of commitment from you, because you'll, apart from the webinar and apart from the workshops and apart from the one-on-one, you will need to put in significant time to your own projects. Remember, this program is not recommended for everyone. You should have a MVP, a minimum viable product, a prototype, to get enrolled in this program. In case you do not have an MVP and are still interested, we have few projects from some startups and some organizations that we could assign you to, but it is recommended that you work on your own project, because that is when growth hacking actually works. And the final stage would be a demo day, which will be attended by entrepreneurs, investors, and mentors, and followed by an exam and certification. The format of coaching is workshops. Every week you'll have about 3 hours workshop. One-on-one with growth hacker. Every week you'll get one-on-one with growth hacker, almost 10 hours during the program. It will be your time with the growth hacker. And digital marketing trainings. There are 6 modules, and as for every individual, we will customize those modules, customize the program. Now, if you've already done these trainings with Digital Vidya, there is a discount, and you can ask the salesperson for the details. Coaching will also include mentoring. So if you need mentorship in certain area, the growth hacker will identify that and probably connect you to the right mentor. Here's the pricing structure. This is also available on the website and in the brochure that we shared. Now, so that pretty much is about growth hacking and growth hacking coaching program that we run. The next section, you can go to this link and kind of download this document, which is a self-assessment for growth hacking. This would help you analyze if you are ready for growth, if your product is ready for growth. And you can also share this with us, and this will give us an idea if you are ready for growth. The document looks like this. So do let me know on the question panel if you cannot download this.
Bhaskar, it would be.
So here's the link again. Let me.
Bhaskar, it would be good if you could post the link on the chat section, or I'll do that. Guys, the links has been shared with all of you in the chat section or in the Q&A question section, whichever is visible to you. By the time you're doing it, we're launching this poll over here. It says that, are you interested in growth hacking coaching? You can either say yes over here or no or maybe. If you say yes or maybe, then possibly one of the senior guy from our team will call you, and we'll accordingly try to answer your questions. And if you want to further participate in it, then you will have to provide us with the document that was shared by Bhaskar, and based on that we will evaluate whether we have the right skill set and the organization is at the right stage of growth hacking, and that's how we'll proceed with this. I would request all of you to please respond to this, and then we'll move forward. There's still some of you who have not responded. I would request all of you guys to please respond to this.
You guys see it?
Great. So looks like most of you have responded. I'm just closing the poll. Yeah, Bhaskar, over to you.
Sure. So let me quickly share how you should use this assessment tool. Of course, you put your bio over here, which is in 140 characters. You put your LinkedIn profile. You start with your one-line pitch. How do you define your product in one line? Then the customers' problems you're solving, the core product value, the revenue model, competition, and link to your site, link to your product or screenshots, or if your site is in stealth mode, then you can send us the link with the login credentials. And then you go on to find, to kind of quantify what is the traffic you are getting and what percentage is activating, what percentage of that you have managed to retain, and what percentage are you getting revenue from, and or kind of getting virality from, or getting referrals from. So this is how you can go ahead and fill in this sheet. I have seen, like, when you do it for the first time, it takes you at least 2 to 3 hours to kind of figure everything out. So do it at your will, and you can share this with me at my email ID bt@bhaskarthakur.com. If you need any help in filling, feel free to write to me. Okay, so that's about it. Now we can take any questions. So feel free to type in your questions in the question panel. Great. So Vishal is asking, how can growth hacking be practiced offline? Yes. So Vishal, very good question, and it can be practiced offline. It depends on your product. Well, I took this example of online hacks because those are more popular on the net. But if you see, there are so many examples. Like I'm currently I'll give you an example of a growth hack that I'm working on. This company is in urban transportation, something like taxi, and again, it's a significant portion of their traffic is not online. they get phone calls and other ways. So what we are doing is implementing the same hacking framework to their product now, which means figuring out ways to attract audience, get audience at a low cost. Of course, if we go online and we start doing television ads, it would be very expensive. So we are kind of figuring out how to do that. Applying analytics becomes a bit more challenging in case of offline businesses, but it can be done. Hope that answers. Kinjal asks, franchising food and beverage brand like Cafe Coffee Day, what are the best growth hacks? So Cafe Coffee Day, the way I look at it, they have two challenges. First, to get new customers to try their product, and then to make sure their customers keep coming back to them and kind of not go to competition. So the best hack is for them is to kind of develop an emotional connect with their audience. Now, what that would mean is analyzing who is coming to their what is the demographic of people coming to them, and then incentivizing them to come again. An incentive could be cash incentive or incentive in other forms. It could be the essence of brand or the brand association being so strong that they don't feel like going through to anywhere else. You should already be a startup to take this program, right? Yes, you should have a minimum viable product, Aman, or you should be an organization with a product that you are managing, or you are trying to create a product variation. Yeah. So, however, we have a few projects from some startups and some other organizations that we could assign if you are interested. Any other questions? Yeah. Okay, I see someone. Kapil, did I miss out on any questions?
No, I don't think so. I think we have answered all the questions. Guys, if you have any question and if your question is not answered, you can just press the hand raise button. I'm putting all the hands down. You can just raise the hand raise button once again and I'll unmute you. There is, okay, Tarun, looks like you're raising your hand. I'm unmuting you. Yeah, Tarun, you have any question?
Hello.
Tarun Verma?
Yeah, hi. Can you hear me?
Tarun, looks like your mic is not working properly. It would be good if you can type down your question. Yes. Anybody else who has any question, you can just type it down.
So Aman says it's better to take basic classes before this, I guess. So Aman, all the basic classes kind of are included in this program. Kapil, would you like to detail on that? Like,
yeah, guys, so
all the programs that come with this?
Great. So the idea here is, and we've done a lot of deliberation on, whether we should open it up to only those people who have done the basic work. What we realized is that for every business, there is a different need. Every business does not need a same set of techniques to learn. So as the whole program, when the program starts, we'll do the basic auditing of the business. And while we'll do the audit, we'll realize, we'll try to analyze what all is needed in a particular business. And based on that, we'll put you in the pre-skilling if needed. And this, I usually recommend that you should do it in group also. So if there is a product team in your company, then everybody of that, every team member of the product team should be part of this program. One, it's easier to implement it, and second, it helps you to create an internal sort of growth kind of culture within the organization as well. So right now, even though if you're at a very very basic level and there is no business problem that you're working on, this program is not for you. If you have a business problem in your mind and you really want to hack the growth in that problem, it could be your own enterprise or it could be a project that you're doing in your organization, then this program is for you. And whether you are at a stage wherein you can take up this program or not, that's something that we will evaluate together. Yeah, Aditya, if you're enrolling in the 6 months program, that's great. You can go ahead with it. And if you've already enrolled, that's fine. So if you at the same time also want to take up the growth hacking module, uh, we'll see, we'll work out some discounted price for you and you can be part of the growth hacking modules as well. Okay, Tarun, you have
Can you please?
question? Yeah, Bhaskar, Tarun has a question.
Yes.
I'm running a PR portfolio company like investment in real estate mutual fund. Will this course help me?
Uh, Tarun, I'm running a portfolio company like investing in real estate. So I understand that you are managing funds and investing in real estate. Is that assumption correct? Does your company manage funds and okay, great. Yes. So if the question is like if the question is can we help in investment, the answer is no. But if you are raising funds, growth hacking can help in that. If you are raising funds from potential investors, you that is where we could help you. But this will not help you in deployment of funds. Does that answer your question, Tarun? Great, thanks. Best practices, most optimized marketing, digital marketing technique. So this is from Varun. So to summarize, would it be fair to say that this is a program with best practices, most optimized marketing, digital marketing techniques suited for a particular business? So not just a digital marketing course. Yes. So the foundation of growth hacking is digital marketing, but hacking is much more than that. So in all the examples that you shared, now say for example, let me before Dropbox, no one had thought about uh, incentivizing both the person uh, inviting friends and the friend being invited. Now, and Dropbox did not come up with this model all of a sudden. They tried a few experiments. What would work, what would not work. And these experiments were backed with a lot of data, a lot of analytics. So what this program will help do is put you on that track of experimenting, lean marketing, and give you tools that you could use to experiment. And also, while you're doing this program in the first 3 months, you will set your own goals with the growth hacker and achieve them. So that's how I would summarize. Does that help, Varun?
And Bhaskar, if I can add something to that, guys, a lot of you will
Sure.
have this question whether how is it really different from digital marketing training? I mean, in case of digital marketing training, what we do is that we give you the best possible trainers who are an expert in a particular space. It could be search engine optimization, search engine marketing, or the entire digital marketing space. But they would teach you about the techniques which are known, which has been practiced worldwide. Growth hacking is about going into the unknown territory. And the problem is that we thought we launch it as a training program, but the problem is that the people who really know about the hacks that they have created and given exponential growth in their organization, they're not willing to share that. Now, so the only option, the way to really get that kind of a growth for your organization is you'll have to discover it on your own. And so the best is not the training structure, best is a coaching structure. Somebody who has done it with number of organizations who can actually coach you and you discover it on your own. To do that, you would need some pre-skilling. So that's what we do in training. So this program is a coaching program. It's a one-to-one coaching. You'll work on your project. Training is you don't work on your project. There are like you, it's a standard training program and there are standard assignments that you get at the end of it. While here, if you really committed to produce some extraordinary result for your business, using some unknown hacks, and you want to discover it on your own, you're willing to spend time on that, then there is a coaching, mentoring structure that is available in the form of this program. Personally, I'm very, very excited about it. In fact, at one level, I really want to participate it as a participant and want to give the same to Digital Vidya as well. So, I mean, overall, this is one of its kind, a great program. Possibly, I haven't seen any of these programs in India. So we are trying to get the best possible. Bhaskar is um, uh, growth hacker, and he's leading the whole initiative. And we are trying to aggregate other growth hackers worldwide who have given such exceptional results for various organizations to create the whole body which can help in this program. And this is for sure the first time we are launching it, and we are also very hopeful and doing our best to make sure that people really get good results out of it. Great. Any other question on this?
I don't see any more questions, Kapil.
Great. So that's it, guys. And really want to thank all of you. Those of you who said yes and wants to try it on, you would very soon receive a call from our side. And all of rest of you, I mean, we'll keep. This is the first time we are doing this program, and we'll probably create the whole community around it and start talking more about the space. I think there's a lot of space, spot scope for everybody who wants to give exponential growth uh, to their business. So just keep observing all the conversations, and if there is any question anytime, you can reach back to us. So thank you very much for attending it. Thanks a lot, and very soon you'll hear back from us. Thanks a lot. Thank you, Bhaskar.
Thank you, everyone.